Russell T Davies' second era for Doctor Who, commonly known as the RTD2 era, has been going for quite some time now. Real quick, honestly, you don't know how much I just messed that line up. I kept saying some quiet time. Anyways, back to RTD. The era started officially in 2023 with the 60th anniversary, and now we are fast approaching the new year of 2025 with Series 2 of Doctor Who with Ncuit Gatwa as the 15th Doctor. And I thought this was the perfect time to have a bit of reflection on Russell T Davies' second era so far and, give my genuine thoughts. And instead of doing this individually, where I would take a look at maybe the 60th anniversary, the Christmas special, then Series 1, then the new Christmas special, and then the teaser for Series 2, I'm going to do this as a whole. So let's start off, as we usually do, with some positives about Russell T Davies' second era of Doctor Who. For starters, the 60th anniversary with David Tennant and Catherine Tate was done very well. It had two great episodes in my opinion, The Giggle and Wild Blue Yonder, and I wasn't a fan of the first episode of the 60th, but I did really like what they did with the 14th Doctor. He didn't just feel like the 10th Doctor repackaged a little bit in different clothing. I mean, David Tennant was always going to be good, right? So, I mean, it was a bit of a giveaway. There was also the great episode of Wild Blue Yonder, this horror-type episode, which really delivered. We didn't know much about this when the episode was going to be released, but, it turned out to be a fantastic episode, and one of the best of RTD's second era, and it was his second episode back. The Giggle, which was the third and final episode of the 60th anniversary, and the 14th Doctor, was also great. The Toymaker was incredible, and I loved how dramatic and tense and, edging on the dark side it was. What can I say? I really like the darker tones of Doctor Who and when they use it correctly, and I think Wild Blue Yonder and The Giggle really get what I love about Doctor Who down to a tier. And this is actually where I'm going to bring the tier list in for Russell T Davies' second era so far. Now that tier list will come back into use later when we talk some more about the criticisms that I have for this era, but another thing that I did enjoy so far is that very much like they brought the Toymaker back for the 60th anniversary, I loved how they brought Sutekh back for the finale of Series 1. Maybe a little bit controversially, but this two-parter finale this series had is arguably some of my favourite episodes we've had in a very, very long time. I love the characterization of Sutekh here, I love how dark the show really gets in these two episodes, and I really enjoy them. The only thing I don't like so much is how they deal with Ruby Sunday's family and mother. I really don't like that element, and that's probably where my criticisms come in a lot for this era. It seems like this era is really struggling with their companions. For example, in the Christmas special, Joy to the World, the character of Joy was absolutely, if I'm going to be honest, I think how they handled Donna Noble in the Star Beast with the whole Meta Crisis thing was also really bad. I did not like that conclusion whatsoever. And I really didn't like the conclusion of Ruby Sunday's family arc and her mother basically kind of meaning absolutely nothing. The character of Ruby Sunday, great. How they concluded her arc was, pretty bad. Seems like they really don't know where they're taking their characters, especially the companions a lot of the time. With the 15th Doctor, Ncuit Gatwa, I got that feeling for a little bit, but, it very much seems like they know where they're really taking this Doctor, and Ncuit Gatwa's performance, like Millie Gibson's as Ruby Sunday, is absolutely incredible. And I'm hoping the companion, really kind of steps up their arc. It seems like with Series 2, the companion doesn't want to be there, so fingers crossed we get something maybe a little bit better than this whole family mystery we had with Ruby Sunday, which didn't really end up going anywhere and was kind of disappointing. Now, I want to go back to the positives really quickly to say that a lot of the episodes released so far, I think have been at least decent episodes to absolutely incredible episodes. If we go back to the tier list really quickly, out of 13 episodes, only 3 of them I put in bad. Firstly, the Church on Ruby Road that I put in bad is there for a few reasons. For one, I didn't like how they underutilized these goblins. These goblins have an incredible design, and I really didn't think they really used them very much. Also, retrospectively, I don't really like this episode because it sets up an arc of Ruby's mother, which should go somewhere, but really doesn't. This episode really gaslights you into believing that this is going to be something big. A lot of people are also going to comment down below that just saying I hate fun, but I really don't like the musical number in this episode. The musical numbers in Doctor Who so far have been pretty naff. Okay, I'm going to get this one out of the way as well, pretty controversially. I really think The Devil's Cord is a bad episode. In a similar way to why I think The Church on Ruby Road's bad, I really don't like the musical number. I think it really dampens the tone that they set in this episode. Again, this might come off a bit controversially as well, but I really don't like the character of Maestro. I find Maestro just incredibly annoying. She is just overall a very incredibly annoying character to me. If you love that character, I can definitely see why, but to me, it just really didn't resonate with me, unfortunately. Joy to the World is a episode that I've made a whole video about why I think it's bad. I don't like the characterization of Joy. I think this episode's just pretty naff overall, and if you want my full thoughts, please go and watch that, because it just sounds like I'm hating now, and I kind of want to get back to the positives of this era, because genuinely, these are the only 3 episodes that I don't think I can rewatch. I just really don't like them. Okay, Russell T Davies' second era of Doctor Who has had some incredibly unique episodes and concepts within, which I really adore. 73 Yards, for example, Wild Blue Yonder, Boom, all these episodes are great. I really like these episodes. They have some very interesting concepts which don't revolve around an alien of the week or a monster of the week type thing, and I really like that. I really like these unique concepts that we haven't necessarily seen in Doctor Who before. And it very much seems like this is something that's going to continue into Series 2, because the Series 2 trailer looks just incredible. On the flip side of that, talking about monsters and aliens, I really want to see more. We really haven't seen actually any true monsters or aliens, right? We've seen Sutekh, we've seen the Toymaker, we've seen Meep, etc., but we haven't really seen any other monsters and aliens. We saw one in the Rogue, and that was great, but I just want to see some more. I think they're so close to having a really good balance there, and I think hopefully in Series 2 we might get a balance. Another thing I'm really enjoying throughout the series and the 60th anniversary and Russell T Davies' second era is the Pantheon. The Pantheon being the Trickster, Sutekh, Maestro, those type of characters. I'm really enjoying that. I'm really enjoying seeing these characters, and I can't wait to see where Series 2 takes them. Retreading old ground is a very common critique I've seen with this era so far, and it's a critique that I just don't think I fully believe in. I think certain things have been retreaded a little bit, especially with, being the loss of the Time Lords, but that isn't Russell T Davies' fault, that's Chibnall's fault for, doing the whole Gallifrey Master thing. So, I mean, I feel like retreading old ground is just bound to happen, and, please feel free to comment your thoughts on that, because, I think I'm really split on that. Something I know I'm definitely not split on, and I said this even before it happened, is them releasing Doctor Who very, very late at night. I don't like it. I really don't like it. I don't think many people do like it, and I really hope they can fix and change something there where, it releases at a suitable time in America and releases at a suitable time in the UK. I think that should just be a priority of the show. But something which is great of this era is the CGI and the practical effects and the costume, the makeup. It's incredible. The mise-en-scène is just absolutely fantastic, and I'm loving every second of how the show looks visually and that way. One thing I don't like is I think the show looks too clean and not enough grit. I tried vocalizing this on Twitter and it didn't go too well, so I hope it goes better here, but I think New Who and Classic Who really blended into its surroundings, right? It looked very realistic, where I just really don't think this Disney Who RTD second era really looks realistic. It doesn't blend in. I think it stands out too much. Maybe is it too bright, vibrant? I really don't know what it is, but it just feels off. Maybe I just seem mad here, but please feel free to let me know. I feel like that's something I very much noticed when I've been watching, very much in the similar way of pacing. I think the pacing's a little bit off of some of these episodes, but, I'm hoping Series 2 kind of fixes a lot of these issues I'm having here, because maybe I'm just the only one who's feeling it. But for the most part, I'm really enjoying this era. I'm loving Ncuit Gatwa's 15th Doctor. I think Ruby Sunday was a great companion, and I can't wait to see more of her in Series 2. I think Unit's been utilised well. I love Sutekh, the Toymaker, and I'm loving the Pantheon. Maybe I think I might be the only one there. Every era is bound to have issues, and this era is like every other era. It has its fair share of issues. I think it's too soon to say if it's a bad or good era, but all I know is that for the most part, I'm enjoying it, bar a few episodes. But everybody watching, what's your thoughts on this era? What's your thoughts on Ncuit Gatwa's Doctor, the 60th anniversary, Series 1, the Series 2 teaser? Comment it all down below. And whilst you're down there, you might as well smash that subscribe button. But I have been your host, Samuel, and I will catch you in the next new Doctor Who type video.